We're concerned by the recent persecution, arbitrary arrest, detention and ill treatment of men perceived to be gay in Indonesia. In the past 2 months, more than 150 men reportedly been arrested in Aceh, Surabaya and Jakarta on the basis of alleged consensual relations between adults of the same sex. While many of them were reportedly released shortly afterwards, some have been charged under a pornography law. The arrested men have been subject to public humiliation and stigmatization. In some cases, their names, photos, and videos are released to the media. The men arrested in Surabaya, for example, were also subjected to forced HIV tests, and in the case of Aceh, 2 men were publicly caned after being tried by a Sharia court. These latest incidents take place against a backdrop of reported violent attacks against lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people in Indonesia. While high-level officials had previously spoken out in defense of the rights of LGBT people in Indonesia, and I think we should stress that, there has been some public defense of them by very senior government officials. There has also recently been widespread hate speech in the media and by some religious groups and some other public officials. The treatment of these men violates multiple human rights standards, including those on liberty, fair trial, integrity, privacy, dignity, equality before the law, non-discrimination, and the absolute prohibition on torture and other cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. And these human rights standards are enshrined in legally binding treaties that have been ratified by Indonesia, including the Convention Against Torture and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. And we call on the Indonesian authorities to release all individuals detained on the basis of their sexual orientation and provide those subjected to abuses with effective remedy, and to urgently review the legislation that contravenes Indonesia's legal obligations, including in particular the local criminal legislation in Aceh. There will be a bit more detail in the briefing note we'll send out later on that story.